Hi, I'm S.J. Kincaid, and I'm the author of Insignia, Vortex, and Catalyst. So for the origin of Tom Raines as a character. Before Insignia, I wrote 6 books that did not get published. And in book 6, there was a character named Dalton. He was a villain. He was a kid who was a villain, and he was very cocky. He was very arrogant. He was extremely competitive. He was so much fun to write that when I wrote book 7, which was Insignia, I wanted to write a main character who was a lot like Dalton, only a good guy. And that's where Tom Raines came from. I always envisioned Tom as a non-reluctant hero. He wants to be Luke Skywalker. He wants to be the guy who saves the world. And I really like that about the character. The real moment of clarity for me, though, with Tom's development came when I was writing his first confrontation with Carl. When Carl, the bully, is trying to force Tom to bark like a dog, and Tom would rather get his arm broken than do something undignified like that. I found just his stubbornness and his sheer will just fascinating to explore. In some ways, Tom's stubbornness is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. In Vortex, I was exploring a lot of the ways that aspect of his personality is a huge drawback for him. And Catalyst will also see a test of Tom's will like none other before this. I think in a lot of kid lit, you have children who are in positions that adults usually occupy. And sometimes this is sort of just ignored or brushed over. Something I've always tried to do with Insignia was acknowledge the fact that they are kids. And the fact is, you have Tom, who is a 16-year-old boy, and he is facing off against the most powerful man in the world in Vengrove, and the most powerful man in his world in Blackburn. It takes a certain type of person to do something like that. And that's where Tom's stubbornness and his sheer will come in, because I don't think many other characters would do that. Sometimes his stubbornness makes him not the most likable person, but it makes him exactly who he has to be the protagonist of Insignia. Also, Tom's strength is one of the reasons I can put him through some pretty hideous things like the census device and getting brainwashed and losing his fingers, and not feel like I'm turning him into a victim, because Tom bounces back from everything. He is a strong, resilient person, and that's part of the reason I love writing him.